two tight ends, and they moved that very well with Moat and Bavaro in there on the
Post Raisin Bran. It's premium. We'll come back after these messages.
How come I have to ride in the dinghy? It's my yacht!
Just a sprinkle a day helps keep odor away.
Shower to shower body powder with baking soda to fight odor and absorbent cornstarch.
Have you had those sprinkle today?
To clean that pesky plaque from your back teeth, get a flip-top head. Or a reach toothbrush with 2 levels of bristles and an angled neck to clean back teeth where plaque loves to hide. Reach the clean teeth toothbrush.
Making snack chips again, Keebler?
Crackers, actually.
Sounds like chips to this seismologist.
Our new Keebler Munchums are crispy little crackers that crunch like chips.
These ought to shake up the snack world.
New Keebler Munchums.
When you want to bring out real taste, bring out the Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise.
Bring out the yays, bring out the praise for the one best mayonnaise. Bring out the Hellmann's and bring out the best.
Next on Life Goes On.
What a surprise! How'd you know it was your sister?
Dennis Rydell called here. There's a big reason I don't want to see this guy. He's not just a creep, Libby. He's Zoe's father. Just tell me you're not going to try to take Zoe away from me. I don't need you telling me that my daughter needs a father. Gina, I wasn't criticizing you. Oh. It may be an emergency. I'm having terrible cramping. There's some bleeding.
What about the baby?
I don't know what I would do if I lost the baby.
Monday on the Home Show, learn how to prepare a gourmet meal serving 12 for just $30, plus an easy lesson in creating a wildlife habitat in your own backyard. This is Gary Collins.
Stay tuned for America's Funniest Home Videos next.
General Hospital's Week to Watch.
I don't have any skills.
Take a week to watch.
Just my wits, which are considerable.
To watch.
You're the one that wanted to go along with the celibacy.
You didn't have to agree with me.
Yes, I did.
Respectable. Me.
Take a week to watch. Take a week to watch.
I have a very active imagination.
Take a week to watch General Hospital.
Take a week to watch.
Hey, Mississippi, there's a whole lot of monster madness going on at Tom Wembley Nissan during our June monster sales event. You can save a whopping $5,000 off MSRP on new 91 Maximus. You can buy new 91 pickups, 0 down, or $94 a month. You can get new 91 Sensors, 0 down, or $131 a month. You can buy any new Nissan with no payment for 90 days. 91 college grads, no money down, no previous credit required. Happening now, Tom Wembley Nissan, I-55 North, Jackson.
Okay, now before you add anything to the soil, you need to do an analysis. Nitrogen, nutrients, minerals.
What about acidity?
Yeah, soil pH.
Right, so you don't add anything the soil doesn't need. Now here, Sean, why don't you take that?
Sprayer calibration is the key to applying crop protection chemicals. Too much per acre and it can get into the water supply. This way you can be sure you're not harming the environment.
FFA, leadership for a growing planet.
Starting this summer, we're giving $5,000 to one lucky submitter. From all tapes normally considered for air received during each 2-week period, we will randomly select one to win $5,000. Write our address for full contest rules. Don't delay. Send in a tape by July 5th and you could be our next $5,000 winner. And beginning next season, if your tape makes it on our show, we'll send you a cassette of the best of America's funniest home videos. Send in your tape now because we're picking videos for next season.
Say your prayer.
Meet
Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Nice work, Frank. What? The only cop smart enough. The water's over there, Frank. Brave enough. And man enough.
Give me the strongest thing you got.
To star in the only movie big enough.
How you doing, Trooper?
To be called The Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 28th at theaters everywhere.
It out-accelerates Taurus LX, Accord EX, and Lexus ES250. It even handles as well as the $55,000 BMW 735iL. It's the 3-liter fuel-injected V6 Sonata. The big sedan from Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Yes.
Hey, all you little leaguers. We've got a new Summer Assignment America for you. All this summer season, we want you to videotape your wildest, funniest moments of the game. It can be during warm-up, batting practice, the game itself, or even afterwards. We don't care, as long as it's funny. So get your camcorders down to your next Little League game and videotape all the fun. Then send that tape to our regular address and mark on the envelope, Little League. Hey, and remember, kids, never swing when it's low and inside.
Queen takes pawn.
This summer, find the cool spot here and get a free t-shirt. Find it here and win a pair of United Airlines tickets to your favorite cool spot.
Last year, thousands of people got rid of their old refrigerator to buy the Maytag refrigerator with a guaranteed to the year 2000. Now, the rest of you have a chance. Buy one, and if it stops working before the year 2000, we'll buy it back. See a Maytag dealer for details. See a Maytag repairman in our commercials. The Maytag refrigerator with a guarantee till the year 2000.
My dad had ulcers, so when my stomach started acting up, I was afraid to go to the doctor. But finally, I went. Was I relieved when my doctor said Mylanta? He said it was indigestion, not an ulcer, and my kind of indigestion called for a strong medicine.
Mylanta is strong medicine, strongly recommended. In fact, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Now available in cherry and cool mint cream flavors.
Next time you're dining out, try something startling. Pick up a packet of Equal. You'll be so surprised by the great taste of the one with NutraSweet. You'll want to buy a box of Equal for the next time you're dining in.
When you want to bring out real taste, bring out the Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise.
Bring out the yays, bring out the praise for the one best mayonnaise. Bring out the Hellmann's and bring out the best.
Monday.
Mayday. I have a man with life-threatening injuries.
Assassins stalk a corporate executive.
Consider it a hostile takeover.
Can MacGyver save his life? Then.
I'm searching for my child. He may have been in an accident.
Your son has third-degree burns, over 90% of his body.
I didn't want to do it, but I did.
If anybody knew your daddy was going to hurt you like this, we wouldn't have let him.
Based on the true story, David, Monday.
Lisa, what are you thinking about?
I don't think we can afford it. I don't know what else to say.
Is there something going on that I should know about?
You gotta come home.
Talent and hard work can take our Olympic hopefuls only so far. That's why Minute Maid will continue to make a contribution to the U.S. Olympic Hopeful Fund every time you buy a Minute Maid product. Together, we can take them all the way.
In Washington, new highway safety regulations are being
We're in an era of fierce competition, spanning not just the nation.
For these demanding times, BMW introduces the safest 3 Series ever built, with a near-zero maintenance engine and perfectly balanced handling. The dramatically new 325i. BMW meets the demands of the 90s with its spirit intact.
Tuesday, McMurphy returns to the States.
It's about time.
But happiness remains out of reach.
I don't fit.
Try not drinking.
I hate you.
I love you.
We loved each other, and now I'm hurting us.
An all-new China Beach Tuesday.
Wednesday, Law takes a back seat to the love seat.
Where was the most unusual place you ever had sex?
This he has.
The bed.
The shower. The shower.
An all-new Equal Justice Wednesday.
So what do you know about General Hospital's Week to Watch?
I know I'm not going to miss it.
Starting Monday, take a week to watch General Hospital.
It's the best time ever to get a Mazda truck. The value of a Mazda can't be beaten. Get an LE5 4x2 and save big on a Mazda Value Pack. Plus get $1,000 cash back from Mazda. It's one of our best deals ever, but it won't last forever. Right time, right truck, right deal.
At your Mid-Mississippi Mazda dealer now.
Dedication to getting you the news you need. In-depth coverage that goes beyond the surface. Professionalism, long hours, and hard work. News that affects your life, whenever it happens, wherever it happens. These are a few of the reasons Jackson depends on the Channel 16 News Team. For the latest in news, weather, sports, and commentary. The Channel 16 News Team. 58 reasons you can depend on us. First news at 5, Monday through Friday, and nightcast at 10, 7 days a week. News that affects your life.
WAPT's Used Car Classifieds, weeknights at 1 a.m. on WAPT.
Pete Harnish pitched 1 inning, no runs, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. And Smiley is the 5th National League rookie. Pirate left-hander is 9-6 for the year. Carter has walked in his only plate appearance, and a base hit. They like that here in Toronto. And we're going to get a pinch hitter in a moment.
Carter walked his first time up, and then the inside breaking ball by John Smiley. And Joe has the 7th, make that the 8th hit for the American League, and his first hit in All-Star history. His first game tonight after 9 years in the major leagues, and I'm telling you, ringing up some big numbers in the process.
Good for him. His first hit. Here is the pinch hitter. Boggs is due up, and it's Paul Molitor of Milwaukee. They don't pinch hit for Wade Boggs very often. And with the left-hander pitching, Russa sends up Molitor. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now 9 hits for the National League, 8 for the American, and Tony La Russa hanging on by 1 run, 7th inning. Started to go and came back. Looked like there was a run and bunt play, and it's 1-2.
It looked like that was a missed sign.
Right.
And you can kind of understand that as you see Scott Sanderson warming up for the American League. I mean, the third base coaches try to keep the signs as simple as possible in these games, because obviously the player's very unfamiliar with the signs, but Molitor squaring around the bunt and Carter taking off, probably a missed sign.
Late swing and a foul by Molitor, and what?
Interference on the catcher.
Interference by Biggio. So that's an error charge to the catcher. And runners at first and second, nobody out.
Got to go back in the archives and find out when the last time that happened. It's the first time we are told that that has ever happened in All-Star history. Interference by the catcher, and that to me blows my mind.
First time ever.
First time ever. 62 All-Star games, and here it is, Craig Biggio his first start, the only catcher who's ever started for Houston.
New pitcher coming in.
If you don't have AT&T 800 service and trouble hits, who knows how long you could be out? Only AT&T automatically protects you through the 800 assurance policy. With AT&T, you would be guaranteed back in touch in 30 minutes or less. With anyone else? Who knows? But if you do have AT&T, your 800 service is guaranteed. That's not all. Since AT&T connects calls 25% faster and has the fewest block calls, more 800 calls get through, so you can make more sales. With all that, why choose any other 800 service? Better service, better results. Another AT&T advantage.
The driver of this car adds something special to his motor oil. So does the driver of this car. They both use STP oil treatment for drivers on a racetrack or drivers on a fast track. STP.
Power Stick Antiperspirant. It excels with 50% more odor and wetness fighters per stroke for 24-hour control that ordinary deodorant sticks just can't beat. Power Stick for 24-hour control.
In America, your car is not just something you own. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco is introducing new Haviland Formula 3 motor oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. New Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
When the batter makes contact with the catcher's mitt before the ball thrown, it's interference on the catcher, an error on the catcher, and this is the first time it's ever happened in All-Star history. You look at Molitor looking back at Joe Brinkman, and Molitor awarded first base, an error on Craig Biggio.
And no official time at bat for Molitor. The new pitcher is Rob Dibble. No wins, no losses. 23 saves. He and Lee Smith and Dennis Eckersley lead the major leagues in saves. And this guy has been perfect coming out of the bullpen for Cincinnati. We'll see some homers here, and we saw Biggio jabbing at the ball a bit as he was warming up Dibble. Cal Ripken is out, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for him. Now, Ripken has a single and a 3-run homer, and Ozzie Guillen will bat, and he might be bunting with nobody out. It's tough to bunt Dibble. American League leading 3-2, 7th inning. Let him swing. And the managers usually do in a game of this sort.
Yeah, right. There's no sense of coming to all unless it's an extra inning game, a game-winning situation. They didn't come here to bunt.
Game one swing, and Dibble's play has to go to first. That was a fastball to first base, too. But Samuel taking the throw. You can hear the ball smack into his glove. And this is when Cincinnati enjoys having Dibble in the game because he can strike people out.
Well, he did indeed sacrifice. So Ozzie Guillen finds shortstop for the White Sox. And he is buzzed out by Dibble. I mean, Dibble threw a seed to first base.
And we have another pinch hitter from the Texas Rangers. Rafael Palmeiro, and they're going to walk him. And they're going to make Dibble pitch with a base hit loaded, 1 out. This will be the 3rd walk issued to the American League tonight. While they're doing it, let's go down to Jim Cott.
Jeff Reardon, second on the all-time list for career saves. You're used to finishing games, but you got some unusual orders when Tony La Russa came out there.
Yeah, when he came out, I was joking around, what should I do now? Because I'm not really used to coming out in the 7th inning, but I understand his move. You got to try to get all the relievers in there.
And did you go to the bench and grab your pom-poms and cheer for Rick Aguilera?
That's what he told me to do, so I went there, and Rick got the big strikeout, so it was nice to see him do the job.
All right, back to Jack and Tim.
And as a result of that strikeout of Eddie Murray, American League held on to the lead, and now they have a big threat going. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 7th, 3-2 American League. The runners are Joe Carter at third, down at second, Paul Molitor, and just given the walk, Rafael Palmeiro, and at the plate, Harold Baines. Second at bat. Oh, I got a kick out of Baines cranking it up for that fastball.
You better turn a notch up, I'll tell you.
Watch his front foot. That's ball 2.
Rob Dibble, the losing pitcher in last year's All-Star game. He gave up the 2-run double to Julio Franco in the 6th inning at Wrigley Field.
And a line drive into right, and it is caught by Felix Jose. The throw is not in time. American League, and Bruce are going to lead 4-2. That run charged to John Smiley, 4-2 Americans.
That was a good base running play by Joe Carter. Your inclination is to take a couple of steps toward home, but because the ball has no lift to it, you don't have much time to get back to third, and you could see Carter scamper back to third base and score rather easily.
So Dibble gives up the intentional walk, then the sacrifice fly. And he will pitch to Ruben Sierra after Carter scores. First and second, 2 out. I don't know where Felix Jose was throwing that ball. Ball 1. You're not going to throw it home. You better throw it to third. If you don't throw it to third, you better throw it to second.
I think he was trying. A lot of times when an outfielder catches the ball, you don't get a good grip on it. You try to throw it too quickly. And I think that ball, obviously, it missed the cutoff man, Eddie Murray. But I don't think he had a good grip on the ball across seams to throw it like he can.
2 balls, no strikes to a dangerous hitter, Ruben Sierra. They're doing trading card business here during the course of the game. Kid's got a good collection. Dibble blitzed it by him.
Here's that throw by Felix Jose, the right fielder. And when an outfielder throws it this far off line, you know he didn't have the proper grip on the ball, and Carter's allowed to score easily.
4-2 American League, 7th inning. And the foul makes it 2-2.
By the way, I'd like to correct that. Rob Dibble gave up the losing hit last year. He gave up the double to Franco, but the losing pitcher was Jeff Brantley of the Giants.
And as a result of that, the American League has won 3 in a row, and they're leading here in the 7th, 4-2. Two on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the strikeout ends the inning, and now the American League has left 8, but they're on top by 2.
Introducing the new 1992 Paseo from Toyota. It's a practical, sensible car.
Women dig it.
For people who know their limitations.
Let's party.
And can appreciate performance.
16 valves, 100 horsepower.
In moderation. So don't expect a lot of excitement.
It's a blast.
Just good, basic transportation.
Women dig it.
At a price we're too modest to mention.
Starting under 10 grand.
We think you'll probably like it.
You'll love it.
The all-new Paseo, a very practical car from Toyota.
If your sporty car doesn't feel so sporty anymore, you need a change by the team, the B.F. Goodrich Tire Team. And right now, when they put on a set of 4 B.F. Goodrich TA tires, take advantage of this Major League offer. Get your choice of a Major League team jacket or pullover with your favorite team logo free. for a whole new level of performance and free sportswear. Hustle into a participating BF Goodrich tire dealer today.
There's a feeling across this land. Every man and woman and child understands. It's a feeling you know and you never outgrow. Look around, it's right there to see. When it's real, Coke is right. It's a classic celebration of life. Can't beat the feeling. Coca-Cola Classic. Can't beat the real thing.
Adios, amigo! Only one man is crazy enough to pull a stunt like this. Only one man is crazy enough to go after him.
You pull the cord!
Patrick Swayze.
Now you pull it! 6 seconds!
Keanu Reeves.
Pull it!
Point Break. Rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
11:25 p.m. in Toronto, and not many people have left this game. 4-2, the American League on top. And I want to update you now on the results of our in-progress CBS AT&T viewer poll. The question was, do you favor the use of an instant replay as an officiating tool in sports? Here are the numbers. Baseball, 54% of you said yes. Basketball, 52%. Football, 69%. And golf, 35%. And remember, the lines were made open on this 1-900 number throughout this broadcast and until the end of the broadcast. And fellas, if you don't have time, I'll make the call for you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Pat. You can make the call and vote against the instant replay in baseball for me. How about you, Tim?
Same.
Here we go into the 8th inning, and time running short for the National League. They're down by 2. Bonilla against Rick Aguilera. 8th inning. Popped it up. And Ozzie Guillen, the new shortstop, wants it. Puckett stays away, and there's one out. The new first baseman for the American League is Rafael Palmeiro. You just saw Ozzie Guillen, the happy little imp. He just made the putout. And the new third baseman was the pinch hitter, Paul Molitor. Ooh, hello, hello.
Look at that. He's peeking it.
Lo tiene.
Little snow cone there, right?
Big swing by Felix Jose. Strike one. Felix is 0 for 1 in this game. We have good news about John Morris. Negative x-rays. John Morris has a contusion of the right foot after being struck by the batted ball by Bonilla. That led to the National League's first run. Their other run, a home run by Dawson, which should have counted for 2. He hit it so far. Felix corks it through the hole, and it'll bring up the tying run. Here's Jim Cott once again.
Well, Jack and Tim, last year, about 100 points less in the batting average, half as many home runs, but Cal Ripken with the big 3-run blow tonight. And let me see, it's about as simple as this. That was the change you made.
Just spreading out a little bit, flexing the knees, creating a little balance in the stance, letting the ball come to you.
And what's it enable you to do?
Just it enables me to wait on the ball and use your hands a little more. I was really, my body was getting in the way of my swing.
These things are old hat for you, but this is a time everybody smiles. Looks like you're having fun.
When you get a few hits and you hit a home run, it's time to smile. But we take it pretty seriously. We try to get this win here tonight, so until it's all over, we won't smile too much.
Yesterday was a lighthearted time. That was some kind of show you put on it. And you ripped all those balls, no cheapies.
No, I got into a rhythm, and I hit the balls good. Granted, it was carrying pretty good yesterday, but for the most part, I hit those very well.
Possibly the best player in all of baseball today. They say sometimes guys aren't as nice as they seem or as good as they seem. This guy is. Let's go back to the game.
And we have the tying run at the plate in the person of Paul O'Neill. Strike one to him. 1-1 with Felix Jose at first. 1 out. 8th inning. American League on top. 4-2. By the way, Cal Ripken, in addition to a 3-run homer, another base hit. 2 out of 3 for the evening. He's through for the night. Low to O'Neill, who for a big hitter knows that strike zone extremely well. Lupe Canilla. Flashing signs to the third base coach, Sam Perlaza.
Doubtful anything's on here. I mean, I think the National League has to wait back for the 2-run homer. If you're 1 run up, something may be on, but not 2 runs.
Jose, the runner, being held by Palmeiro. 1 out. Aguilera makes certain. Didn't like it up in Chicago when Palmeiro was traded away. He continues to prove he's one of the best hitters in the game. He's playing first now. Oh, big swing by O'Neill. 2-2.
Now you mentioned another club, the Chicago Cubs. Let's take a look at the American League East. The Toronto Blue Jays ahead of Boston by 5.5 games. In the American League West, the Texas Rangers and the Minnesota Twins, surprisingly. And there are 5 teams in that division in the American League West, and the spread is 2.5 games. Man,
that's the way it ought to be. That's the way it is. Still 2-2 to O'Neill. O'Neill popped out. Felix Jose singled. His first All-Star hit. And a foul out of play.
In the National League in the second half, what can you look for? Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates, at one time during the first half, the best team, I thought the best team in baseball. They're still a very, very good club. They're 2.5 games in front of the Mets, who have won 7 in a row, and the Cardinals are 5 games back. In the NL West, the Dodgers 5 games back, and Cincinnati in second place. The Dodgers have opened up things for Tommy Lasorda with Oral Hershiser back healthy and Tim Belcher.
Well, they have good pitching. The Dodgers have good pitching, and the Mets are getting better pitching now. 2-2. Oh, he got him. With what, Tim?
That's that splitter we told you about. Aguilera with real long fingers, and if you can, we talked about the spread on them, and that gives the downward motion on that tumbling sinker. The splitter, you can see how much that ball goes down, and usually when hitters swing and miss at that pitch, they swing over the top of it. They think it's going to be a strike, and the bottom falls out at the last minute.
The 2-out batter for the National League is Howard Johnson. Fouled out in his only at bat. He could tie this game, and Aguilera works hard at keeping Felix Jose at first. 2 out, 8th inning. Johnson with a great RBI total. Look out back here. And that strike 1 to Howard. Johnson's driven in 63 runs for New York so far, and helped them on the recent surge to get within 2.5 of the Pirates.
Leads the National League in home runs, extra base hits, and RBIs.
And hits most of his home runs left-handed. That's a lot of RBIs for the first half of the season. One ball, one strike. Two and one.
But 40 RBIs shy of Hank Greenberg back in 1935. Now listen to this. He had 103 RBIs at the All-Star break, Hank Greenberg, and didn't make the All-Star team. 25 home runs, 103 RBIs, and the guy who chose him, his manager, was Mickey Cochran, who was also, his manager.
And didn't pick him.
And didn't pick him. How about that? 103 RBIs at the All-Star break. Greenberg ended up that year with 170 RBIs.
Yeah, when I was chatting with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio last night, looking at those RBI figures. You know, 150, 160, 145. 2-2 the count with 2 out. Followed by Johnson. He's the tying run at the plate in the 8th inning. Next year, the All-Star game will be in San Diego, another lovely city.
Roberto Alomar will tell you that. He played in San Diego, traded here to Toronto. Howard Johnson can hit that fastball away.
Ooh, a little bit low. Fisk thought they had him struck out. Aguilera started to walk off the hill.
This ball right on the outside corner, and Fisk wanted it. Aguilera wanted it, but Joe Brinkman didn't call it.
Now the runner will go. Palmeiro at first, plays behind Felix Jose. 3-2, 2 out.
Splitter here.
On 3-2, runner going, and he struck him out on that splitter in the dirt. That's what Fisk wanted, and that's what they got him with 8 left for the National League. They still trail by 2, middle of the 8th.
Don't be nothing wrong about my man. He don't drive no fancy car. Don't need no college degree. Don't think nothing wrong about my man. He means everything to me. He's my strength, and his love brings too. By that Miller beer, the best comes shining through.
To make a special point about the BP credit card, my assistant Bernie has been practicing magic.
Presto changeo.
Very impressive. Bernie has just demonstrated why more and more people are coming to BP. Because cash and credit are the same price for gasoline or anything else. So apply for a BP card now. Bernie, my card, please. That's my wallet.
The card's inside.
Oh, where's my money?
BP, credit card convenience, same price as cash.
You've been driving for nearly 2 decades. You've had your license renewed a number of times. Isn't it time you had your spirit renewed as well?
Puckett batting for the first time this evening. Low and away, 1-1. Big 3-run homer by Cal Ripken, the story of this game that occurred in the 3rd inning. National League jumped on top with a run. Ripken's home run in the 3rd. National League Dawson home run in the 4th, 3-2. Insurance run in the 7th inning for the Americans, 4-2. Bucket of foul, 2-2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. National League will have only one more crack at it. Larkin to Murray. And one gone in the home 8th. Barry Larkin, boy, the Reds missed him when he was out of the lineup.
And we mentioned his recent surge in power. Kirby Puckett, I'll tell you, I don't think anybody in baseball has as much fun playing the game than Kirby Puckett. Out early every day. He plays with Tom Kelly's son, as a matter of fact, when throws batting practice to him, and he's out on the field at 3 o'clock. Cannot get enough of baseball.
Carlton Fisk, the oldest player ever to catch in an all-star game or get a base hit. That occurred here tonight. And he is 1 for 1. Ball 1. In the National League 9th inning, it's due to be Santiago, Larkin, and Butler. Morgan throws inside. Ball 2.
Who will ever forget Carlton Fisk 11th inning home run off Pat Darcy back in the 1975 World Series, Game 6 against the Reds. Reds won it in 7.
One of those unforgettable baseball moments. That's a strike, 2-1. Like the Williams home run in the All-Star game in Detroit, or the one against Rip Sewell on the old blooper pitch. People never forget those. And tonight, Cal Ripken made the highlight film of All-Star games with the home run. We'll be seeing that in the future. Maybe we'll show it to you next year from San Diego. 2-2 to Fisk. And a strikeout for Morgan. Those Minnesota Twins were picked for last in the American League West. They've been something to talk about. Chili Davis just murdering the baseball. He has 19 home runs, 52 RBIs. Scott Erickson has become the ace of the staff, although he's on the DL right now. And Tom Kelly, the manager, they trailed Texas by only a couple of percentage points. Big story. Maybe. Spins away from a Morgan pitch, 1-1.
Fastball inside by Mike Morgan, and you kind of wonder why Alomar's still in the game. Julio Franco, the only non-pitcher for the American League that hasn't played.
And he'll take care of 8 innings in this one. We go to the 9th. The National League needs 2 runs.
After years of intense work, Lexus is ready to celebrate. Because even at the equivalent of 145 miles per hour, the Lexus LS400 is designed to stir the soul and not much else.
All across the USA, for as long as we've been around, our passengers are our neighbors. This country's our hometown. Every time we fly, every mile of sky, everything we do, USA, USA begins with you.
You know, Rust-Oleum Wood Saver trim paint is so moisture resistant, you paint your trim less often and have time for other things. Like playing ball with the kids. Paint less often. Use Rust-Oleum Wood Saver.
Over its life, a Motorcraft battery delivers enough energy to light up a small park. Like Candlestick Park. Shouldn't you install that peace of mind? Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
I don't want this evening to end.
I know.
But I think your mom does.
Hey, I'm an adult.
What's she doing with the Kellogg's Raisin Bran?
Where?
On the porch.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Well, Mom knows I have this thing for raisins.
I can accept that.
And there are 2 scoops in Kellogg's Raisin Bran, so...
So have some in the morning.
Alan, it is morning. Bye.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran with that tempting 2-scoop taste.
You can go to bed now, Mom.
The pitch, swing, and a ball hit the first. What a play by Kruk. Out is second on the force out. Here comes the runner trying to score. He is safe at the plate. Safe at the plate as Langford pulled over. Darren Dalton. Swing and a high fly ball to deep right. May go. That's a winner. On a home run by Felix Jose.
That's another one of the big stories in the first half of the season in Major League Baseball. And now, the other part of this big story. 9th inning, 4-2 American League. There's Felix Jose. Get that home run that was referred to. And Carlton Fisk is joined by Dennis Eckersley. He's 1-1, 23 saves, tied for the lead in saves in Major League Baseball. And they'll be rooting for him this time in Toronto as he pitches to the National League and Craig Biggio. We are in the ninth, 4-2 American League. Strike one to Craig.
Real surprise in 38 1/3 innings. Eckersley has already walked one this year. He's walked 8 players, 8 in 2.5 years. 8.
8 players in 2.5 years.
4 in 89, 3 last year, and 1 this year.
And Biggio stays up there 0-2. Biggio leading it off, and the National League needs a runner to have a chance. And a foul goes out of play. The on-deck hitter will cause a lot of commotion when he comes up there, George Bell.
George, the MVP here in Toronto in 1987.
We are in the ninth. And Biggio hits it to Alomar, traps it and throws him out. That was a good play on a tough hop. Roberto has played the entire game. And Sparkle there.
Fastball away to Biggio, and he hits a rocket to second base. And Alomar taking it right in the stomach, and then recovers in time to throw out the speedy Biggio.
Now you talk about mixed reaction. That's what we're getting from the crowd as George Bell comes up to hit. The former Toronto player now playing and producing for the Cubs. Some booing, some standing and applauding. George told us that when he used to play up here, they called him King George. Well, some do, some don't. Leadoff man is gone. Bell pinch hitting, batting in the Larkin spot, 1 out. He knows Eckersley too well. They're having fun with Georgie here.
Yeah, on his return, it doesn't sound to me like he's king for a day.
No, or for a night here in Toronto. This has been a fun game with a lot of action, and Cal Ripken hoping his 3-run homer stands up. That's low. This is Tuesday night. We have baseball for you next Sunday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern time. Yanks and Angels. Pre-game show. Watch it at 2:30. DiMaggio, Williams. Late swing of that one, 1-2. Oh, they'll howl if he strikes out. They're getting ready.
So is Eckersley.
We'll let you listen here. 1 out, nobody on. National League trailing by 2 9th inning. Sorry, George. 2 out in the ninth. The coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on CBS is Rick Lasavita. This evening's telecast directed by Joe Assetti. The producer of Baseball 91 is Mike Arnold. The senior producer of CBS Sports is Ed Gorin. The executive producer of CBS Sports, Ted Shaker. The folks at Dome Productions have really been cooperative and efficient, and our own crew traveling up here to Toronto. And they had everything ship-shape here this evening, and you folks have watched a fun game. Batter Butler. This won't end in a hurry. He'll battle Eckersley, ball 1. His first at bat. Into the game as a pinch hitter. Stayed in, played center field, and he gets an at-bat. And a foul. They try to slap it past third. Bobby Bonilla drove home the first run of the game in the first inning. Then Ripken with a 3-run homer in the American League third. The Dawson homer was gigantic. 3-2 in the fourth. An insurance run in the 7th inning on the sacrifice fly by Baines. That's why we are where we are. 9th inning. 2 out. 4-2 American League. Trying to make it 4 in a row over the Nationals. Another foul by Brett Butler. Our best wishes to Hank Aaron and Rod Carew. They're the honorary captains here tonight. And Rod's headed for the Hall of Fame. Ferguson Jenkins. Gaylord Perry, Tony Lazzari, Bill Beck, Joe Garagiola, Phil Collier. Butler keeps us here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Our folks at Fuji have given us the blimp shots, which we've all enjoyed. And before we close it off, we want to remember Dave Dravecky and admire his courage. Dave Dravecky, our very best to you. And we know you make the strong cutback. Another foul by Butler. What a courageous guy, Tim.
Dave Dravecky had his left arm amputated about 10 days ago. Coming back from surgery, cancer in the left arm, and that remarkable comeback, and then felled by the arm problems once again while pitching in Montreal, pitching for the Giants.
So hello to Dave, and here is a pitch to Butler that might end it. No, another foul out of play. It's still 1-2 with 2 out in the 9th inning. What do you remember most of all about this one, Tim?
The stadium and the people and the excitement.
And the home run by Ripken and the blast by Dawson. Well, Tony La Russa will win 3 in a row if it comes to fruition here. First ever to do that as a manager.
Maybe 3's the magic number, because if Eckersley saves this game, as you look at the 3-run homer by Ripken, if Eckersley saves this game, he will have 3 all-star saves, the first man to ever do it. So 3's the number right now.
And a good play by Eckersley. The American League wins it. 4-2. It was a lovely evening here in Toronto. Pat O'Brien will be joining us and have some interesting comments for you. Don't go away. The American League won at 4-2 on a wonderful night in Canada.
Over its life, a Motorcraft battery delivers enough energy to light up a small park, like Candlestick Park. Shouldn't you install that peace of mind? Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Motorcraft energy-conserving oil can help reduce fuel consumption. It can also reduce traffic. Motorcraft quality parts. Peace of mind from Ford.
If your sporty car doesn't feel so sporty anymore, you need a change. To BF Goodrich TA tires. Put on a set and feel a whole new level of performance.
Introducing a true breakthrough in sun protection. New Sweatproof Copper Tone Sport. When you sweat, it won't run in your eyes to sting you. New Sweatproof Copper Tone Sport. Because for some, life's not a beach.
People can give you their word in many ways. But when it comes to something as important as selling your home, you want a commitment in writing. That's why at Century 21, we give you our seller service pledge. A written commitment that spells out a specific plan of action and promises the highest level of professional service, the standard by which all others will be judged. Century 21, it's as good as done.
Sunday, they're young and very restless. The up-and-coming Yankees take on ex-teammate Dave Winfield and the Angels. Baseball's biggest moments are on CBS.
In the tropics, he's the only private eye.
If you're in trouble, maybe I can help.
And things are heating up. Sweating Bullets in CBS Prime after The Flash, Friday.
CBS Sports coverage of the 62nd All-Star Game from Toronto has been brought to you by Lexus Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. AT&T, the right choice. And by Miller Lite, it's it, and that's that.
And so the American League has won now the last 4 All-Star games, winning tonight 4-2, and the fans here in Toronto go out into the balmy Ontario air with cautious dreams of the second season. And the man who had a dream night is standing by with Jim Cott. Jim.
All right, Pat, I'm with Kurt Ritter, marketing manager, trucks from Chevrolet, who has a very pleasant duty and a presentation to make. Kurt.
Congratulations, Cal. Splendid performance. On behalf of Chevrolet and all of its dealers, I'd like to present you with the Chevrolet MVP Award. As well, I'd like to present you with a 91 Chevrolet Astro van that will be donated in your name to the charity of your choice. Thank you much for a splendid performance.
Thank you. Boy, what a couple of nights here. I mean, when you go home tonight with Kelly and you talk about the home run hitting contest, being in this place, what's the thing you're going to take from this game with you most of all?
Geez, I don't know. Probably I surprised myself the last couple of days. I don't know. I haven't done much offensively in any of the games I've played in. Matter of fact, I almost doubled my hit output tonight. And to hit a home run, it was just a great feeling.
And yesterday had to be a thrill, too, because you've said your all-star hero is Brooks Robinson. He was in the game yesterday.
That's so true. I grew up trying to be just like Brooks Robinson. He was here. I did well in the All-Star game. Couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Don't need any more days off. No more talks about days off for Cal Ripken Jr., right?
Well, that's the best part about having such a good first half and a good All-Star game here is everybody's let the take a day off line die for right now.
Great night. Very enjoyable. Let's go back to Pat O'Brien.
Thank you. He may have surprised himself, but he did not surprise the fans of baseball. We'll be back with a final thought from Ontario after this. Stay with us.
Some men would rather live their lives sheltered in the harbor, and some would rather sail into life with the unmistakable scent of Old Spice. Clean, true, and classic. Old Spice, one of the legends of the sea.
The race is on to make batteries that last longer. And today's Duracell batteries can even outrun the ones we made just a few years ago. Today's Duracell, you can't top the copper top.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's what more men reach for, to prepare, to prevent, to protect. Speed Stick.
No better way to face the day in 5 minutes.
When you've got a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning, you want a medicine that acts tough. Tough Actin Tenactin. Clinically proven Tenactin cures even the tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
This is not what you want in a shave. Now you've got the edge. With 6 rich lubricants. For less irritation. You've got the edge.
And so the American League has won the 62nd All-Star Game 4-2 here in Toronto. And you know, over 100 years ago, the great American man of letters, Walt Whitman, bid adieu to Ontario with these words. Goodbye, Toronto, with memories of a very lively and agreeable visit. Indeed. So for Jack Buck, Tim McCarver, Jim Cott, President Bush, and Brian Mulrooney, I'm Pat O'Brien saying so long from Sky Dome, where the final score of the 1991 All-Star Game, once again, is 4-2. CBS Sports coverage of Major League Baseball continues this Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Time with Baseball 91, followed by the New York Yankees and the California Angels. On Saturday at 5 Eastern, CBS Sports takes you to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Battle of the NASCAR Legends. Been watching the 1991 All-Star Game on CBS Sports, home of the biggest games in baseball, the League Championship Series and the World Series. So we all look forward to the second half of the season. Till then, good night, everybody.
I'll put you next to Ted.
Now, when life turns up the heat, there's Degree antiperspirant. Because it's body heat activated, Degree turns on extra protection when you really need it. Degree, your body heat turns it on.
Living, no better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
Hey, Mark. What you got?
Well, south side's fine. New worms are coming through on the north. We're gonna have to go back.
But we just sprayed 4 days ago.
It rained. It's been hot ever since.
Rained south of the road, too.
It's a different product there.
So?
Well, apparently, the stuff lasts longer.
The #1 airline across the Pacific now introduces renowned international service to London's Heathrow Airport. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
The testing lasted 2 years and yielded new gasolines that are clearly advanced. Exxon announces Phase 4. New gasolines that give you the highest level of engine cleaning in every grade, that give you lower pollution for cleaner air, and a full measure of performance from every drop.
It's better.
Rely on Phase 4 from Exxon.
Feel the distance fading every time you call. So good to share the feeling. You can touch them all. Oh, hey. Hello, everyone. You've got so much to tell. Hello, everyone. South Central Bell.
Seems like everybody's in a hurry these days, but they still gotta eat. That's why we created these extraordinary salads for people on the go.
Like Wendy's new grilled chicken salad and deluxe garden salad, both with a warm, freshly baked breadstick. And there's Wendy's famous taco salad and delicious side salad, all freshly prepared and ready to go.
Now that's quick thinking.
You love Wendy's fresh new salads, whether you're eating in or on the go.
WJTV, Jackson, Mississippi. From the news leader in Central Mississippi, this is WJTV, the News Center.
Good evening, everyone. LA's police chief has made it official tonight.
He's not stepping down, at least not yet. We get more in this report.
700 witnesses and 1 million pages of documents later, the independent commission investigating brutality by Los Angeles police officers said today it's time for major change, starting at the top.
Chief Gates has now served for 13 years, and hence we believe it is appropriate to commence the transition in the office of Chief of Police.
But the embattled chief of police said he's not ready to leave yet.
I don't expect to just run away. If the people of the city of Los Angeles believe, as the commission believes, that a chief should be restricted to 2 5-year terms, the people will speak.
The notorious beating of unarmed motorist Rodney King sparked the extensive review which focused on the use of excessive force. And the commission said it found a police department operating under a siege mentality with a code of silence that protects wrongdoers. Specifically, the commission cited what it called a problem group of officers, perhaps 5% of the 8,300-member department, who repeatedly misuse force. A problem aggravated by racism and bias, said the commission, as evidenced by various computer messages typed from patrol cars. Sounds like monkey slapping time. If you encounter these Negroes, shoot first and ask questions later. I almost got me a Mexican last night, but he dropped the damn gun too quick. Sergeant says, tell them to go back to Mexico.
The message is very clear.
that we need to start rebuilding LAPD, and we cannot do it with the current leadership.
If you read the report, you have to conclude that it is his style of management that has produced all of the problems we have in the department.
Among the Commission's major recommendations, greater civilian oversight of the department and the chief, and changing the chief's virtual lifetime tenure to a maximum of 2 5-year terms, making the next chief more accountable. The present chief gave the investigation a mixed review.
How about the hard work of 8,000 police officers who've given this organization a worldwide reputation?
The Commission concluded the Los Angeles Police Department could have uncovered the troubles on its own had it wanted to. Much of the disturbing and damning evidence comes from the department's own files. But instead of confronting the problems and the problem police, the report said, the management most often promoted them. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Back here in Jackson, a man is dead tonight and another has been charged with manslaughter. 22-year-old Everett Plump died of a gunshot wound to the back of the head. Police say 38-year-old Curtis Wilson was playing with a gun on the back seat of Plump's car when the gun discharged. Police have ruled the shooting accidental. Wilson is charged with manslaughter.
With him, they had stopped to get gas. Plump apparently got out of the car, pumped the gas, and got back in the car. Another person in the car seated in the rear, Curtis Wilson, age 38, was playing. He told police that he was playing with a .357 Magnum, and that the gun accidentally discharged when another person seated next to him accidentally bumped him.
Wilson is free on his own recognizance. The incident happened outside of the Watkins Drive Circle K. This is the city's 35th homicide of the year. A Jackson City councilman says that he can cut street violence by as much as 30% if the city would enact a curfew for most teenagers. Councilman Kenneth Stokes presented his curfew proposal to city fathers this morning. The draft ordinance calls for an 11 o'clock limit for those under 15 years of age. Although Stokes is a strong supporter of the curfew, other council members say many questions still have to be answered.
A curfew is not a simple situation. You have to decide what you're going to do with these children once they're picked up. You have to have a facility in which to keep them. You assume the responsibility at that time for that child. You have to make sure that there's adequate supervision.
No vote was taken today on the curfew. Stokes hopes to enact the proposal later this month.
The meter is running tonight on legislative redistricting. Plaintiffs involved in the federal redistricting lawsuit say the state has already spent $750,000 of the $1.3 million budgeted for redistricting. They say this may leave the state with little or no money left for congressional redistricting.
Personally, I think that the taxpayer are getting robbed. Anytime you circumvent the legislative process and have to litigate something that shouldn't be and not required to do, then it is a burden to the taxpayer. I think, and I've said all along, that we should have resolved this through the legislative process.
Flagg says the state has authorized the payment of up to $95 an hour to 3 private attorneys. Attorneys, he says, have left the state with a big bill, but no redistricting plan.
Dreaming of owning a luxurious Cadillac but think you can't afford one? Think again, because George Carr in Vicksburg has drastically reduced over 25 1991 model Cadillacs, starting at an incredibly low $21,995. Factory used, program, and new Cadillacs, all 91 models from a low $21,995, including the 91 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, Brougham, and Seville. Add to your exceptionally low price, all-day Saturday service, and you have the deal you expect from George Carr in Vicksburg.
Meet the new faces of crime time after prime time. 5 different shows. 5 different nights. Meet Nick Slaughter, the only private eye in the tropics.
I think my glasses are steaming up.
And someone's turning up the heat, sweating bullets Monday.
People thought I was a traitor. Unless I can clear myself, I can never go home.
The Exile, late night Tuesday. Love can really be murder. At the scene of the crime, late night Wednesday. He's a down-and-out pilot with dreams of hitting the skies again. She's a beautiful businesswoman trying to get her new airline off the ground. Put them together. What have you got? Fly by night, Thursday.
Somewhere between crime and punishment is dark justice.
Scenes so hot, they could only be shown in late night. Crime time after prime time.
Weeknights starting at 11 following Mama's Family on WJTV.
The verdict is in tonight on the Rankin County Chamber of Commerce.
A Starkville audit company found no improprieties in the way the organization spends its public money. Today, the accounting firm released the results of the 18-month audit they completed on the Rankin County Chamber of Commerce. They say except for a few bookkeeping methods, everything else looks okay. The executive director of the chamber, Dan Russell, attended the meeting today but refused to comment. Russell, who is the target of an investigation, is on leave as director of the chamber until August the 1st. The U.S. Court of Appeals has upheld the impeachment of former U.S. District Judge Walter Nixon, Jr. of Mississippi. The court today rejected Nixon's effort to gain reinstatement. Nixon was convicted, you may recall, by the Senate in November of 1989 for lying to a grand jury about a drug case. Nixon claims the Senate failed to give him a full evidentiary hearing.
Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas was back on Capitol Hill today calling on various senators. He said he's benefited greatly from the civil rights movement. Thomas, a conservative, has been nominated to fill the shoes of retiring Justice Thurgood Marshall. Thomas's comments today are seen as an effort to defuse claims that he has turned his back on fellow blacks by opposing affirmative action.
Actor James Franciscus, best known for his role as the dedicated school teacher in TV's Mr. Novak series, died last night. The 57-year-old actor passed away in a Hollywood hospital where he had been hospitalized for emphysema. He is survived by his second wife, Carla, and 4 daughters from his previous marriage.
Judy Stelzer of Yreka, California, points out why she didn't buy an import.
Beginning tomorrow at 11 p.m., WJTV will bring you exclusive interviews with the Miss Mississippi preliminary competition winners. I hope you'll join our Vicksburg Bureau reporter Richard Dean for these special live reports Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11 p.m. only here on WJTV.
It's time for You Lost Your Lives, the show that proves if you're not buckled up, the loser is you.
That's right, because you could end up in places you never dreamed.
Like traction.
Or the emergency room. Stay tuned.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
The movie Boys in the Hood cuts to the heart of an American crisis. Are black men an endangered species?
What's your problem, man? Y'all are brothers. You ain't supposed to be fighting each other.
Is the solution separate schools for black boys?
This throwback to racial segregation is more idiocy. It's not education. It's idiocy.
Don't you tell me that it takes a white person to teach a black child about the mainstream society.
On the next program.
Wednesday at 4, followed by the 5 o'clock news on WJTV.
The shortage of state funding has forced the Jackson Public School Board to drop 12 administrative positions, they say, to save money. Over 30 maintenance workers also stand a chance of losing their jobs as well. The News Center's Paul Williams has our report.
As the Jackson Public School Board passed their new budget of $109 million, they also agreed to dissolve 12 administrative positions. The radical cut will save the school system $430,000 this year, which would make up for the multi-million-dollar cut from state funding they've absorbed. The board is also considering having a private firm to do maintenance work that could put several groundkeepers out of work. That idea drew this response from concerned parents.
Is food service also going to fall under a similar look insofar as management cut?
Superintendent Dr. Ben Kennedy says that all departments will be evaluated and...
What we've said is that we'd say to them, the private vendor says they can do it for this price. Can you restructure and beat that price or at least match it?
What if they can't?
If they can't, then we will obviously go for the best value for the students.
In trying to save money, the board adopted a reorganization plan putting more responsibility on high-ranking school officials without a pay increase.
If it was a new position, then they got the funding, the salary that goes with that position. But if they kept the same title, there is no new money.
The board's $109 million budget includes a $2 million draw from emergency money to meet next year's financial needs. Paul Williams, WJTV, the News Center.
A national rally was held today in the nation's capital in support of public libraries, many of which are feeling the effects of budget cuts. Here in Jackson, a group of summer readers between the ages of 5 and 14 held their own rally. The group of children gathered outside the Margaret Walker Alexander Library and talked about what libraries mean to them. The theme today was appropriately called Libraries Are Worth It. Yes, they are. I do too.
Me too.
What about you?
Okay, I'll cast my vote, sure. Anything
Speak up.
other than to talk about this awful hot, humid weather we've had outside today.
It is.
That heat index is 108 this
dangerous.
afternoon. That is dangerous. Once it gets above the 105-degree mark, you really need to watch it. Don't exercise. Don't do the yard work. Just stay in where it's cool. We've all did that.
My sentiments exactly. That's good advice.
Exactly right. Stay inside where it is cool. One thing you might not want to do, though, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, Thursday, is go outside for a little bit in the afternoon and look at the eclipse. Don't look at it directly with your eyes. It could be dangerous. Find something to reflect it on. Watch us tomorrow here on the News Center. We'll tell you how to look at the eclipse safely. Let's first of all check and see what was going on with the river stages around the area. Pearl at Jackson down 3/10 of a foot from yesterday. Barnett Reservoir, no change. Mississippi River, Greenville, Vicksburg, and Natchez, all stages down about a half foot. The Yazoo River at Greenwood and Yazoo City both down a little bit. And the Big Black of Bovina down 1.4 feet from yesterday. That pollen count today, very high. Mostly grasses out there. Depending on the plants in your backyard, they can be a little different, but unfortunately not much rain to wash the air clean. So the pollen kind of hanging in there. Well, when we come back, we'll have your forecast. Hot temperatures, lots of sunshine too, and not many thunderstorms. Details in a moment.
The new Eagle Summit 3-door. We've come in under 7,000.
Hey, hold everything.
Eagle Summit. What kind of car can hold all this stuff? The new 3-door Eagle Summit.
A magical night is set for Mississippi, filled with excitement and glamour, when 36 of the most beautiful and talented young women from across the state come together to compete for the title of Miss Mississippi 1991. Live from the Vicksburg Municipal Auditorium, the pageant will be hosted by Barry Fish and Miss America of 1987, Kelly Cash. Be sure to join us here on WJTV Saturday, July 13th at 8 p.m. for the Miss Mississippi pageant.
The comedy and drama are exciting on WJTV late nights. At 10:30, hear The Unbelievable on Mama's Family, starring Vicki Lawrence as Thelma Hopper. Then stay tuned for something different as the action in late-night television becomes more than a fabulous mystery. Crime Time after prime time. 5 different shows, 5 times a week. That's Mama's Family at 10:30, followed by Crime Time after prime time at 11, weeknights on WJTV 12.
It looks like a long, hot summer.
Surprise.
Especially for
Jack
and the Fat Man.
You mean stupid? I am not stupid. I'm angry.
Because justice never takes a vacation.
Man's guilty, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna let him walk away without a fight.
Joe Penny
Put the donut down and listen to me.
and William Conrad
What the hell is that?
tip the scales of justice.
Wednesday at 8 on WJTV.
Well, Jackson, very warm once again today. Our high temperature 94, normally 92. The record, though, 102 in 1969. Well, this morning still pretty warm at 72. Normal 71, the record 61 in 1947. No rain officially today in Jackson. Some places to the east and west and north and south saw some scattered thunderstorms today, but none officially in the city. 34 is where the pollution index is, and that's in the good category today. Currently, mostly fair skies, 78 warm degrees, humidity high at 91%, wind southeast at 3, and the barometer 29.99 inches of mercury, holding fairly steady there. Let's look at our Weather Service radar all day long. Since early this afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms developed across portions of Louisiana. They slowly tried to move to the east into southern sections of Mississippi, also near Vicksburg, and some other scattered thunderstorm activity between Jackson, Meridian, and Hattiesburg. This evening, though, the only shower activity left in the state is over portions of Yalobusha County just north of the Grenada Reservoir. All the rest of this activity you see here is ground clutter. All the scattered showers, for the most part, have ended across our state. You can see the clouds, how they developed in the heat of the afternoon, just the scattered afternoon thunderstorms popping up around Louisiana. That activity dying down just in North Mississippi, that one little spot of scattered showers is still going on at this hour. The national satellite picture again showing the color enhancement here, showing the taller thunderstorms where a little more rainfall was occurring from portions of Nebraska and Kansas into Missouri and Illinois. Strong thunderstorms popped up today, and severe thunderstorm watches are still into effect for those particular locations. You can see the blue boxes here, those severe thunderstorm watches into the late evening hours tonight across Mississippi. Again, just the scattered showers well north of town to the south and central portions of the state. Things have all dried up, and the forecast really isn't going to change that much at all. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms, just about a 20% chance at most is it. So for tomorrow and on into Thursday, the day of the eclipse, we might be able to see a pretty good amount of it. Just don't look up at the sky. It's dangerous. Here's our current map. The frontal system to the north is going to stay to the north. It's going to lift north as a warm front tomorrow. High pressure still in control of the Gulf coastal states, so no real change in the forecast is expected. With extra sunshine, you've got temperatures warming up. It will not be comfortable. Let's look first at our forecast for tonight. Mostly fair skies and a low of 73 degrees. Our winds will be light for tomorrow, mostly sunny. Just a 20% chance of afternoon thunderstorms with the high 96. Heat index 105 or more tomorrow afternoon. Take it easy. The extended outlook for the next few days. Scattered afternoon thunderstorms. Thursday, eclipse day, 97 the high. Hopefully lower 90s by the weekend. Overnight lows in the lower 70s. Not much of a chance of rain through the period. Barber pole for tomorrow on up to about a 5. That's it. Won't get much higher with this heat and humidity. Not very comfortable at all. Take it easy.
We'll stay under the air conditions.
Stay
Thank
cool.
you very much.
Thanks, Dave.
Coming up in sports, Big League Baseball this evening, All-Star game in Toronto. We'll have the details.
And we'll tell you about some of the young swimmers on the Sun Kids swim team. These stories and more next in sports.
Get in on the exciting moments found on WJTV each weekday afternoon starting at 3 with Judge William King as he presides over a divorce court. The courtroom drama continues at 3:30 on the People's Court with Joseph Wapner. Then at 4, join America's #1 talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show.
You want to be her best friend. Is that what it is?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, I can
think
if I
there
want
is
to.
a jealousy
She,
here.
I mean, she needs to move over or something. I have no problem with her being
But you know, the thing
her
about
friend.
that is, I have
Let me
stepped
in
back
some.
a lot of times. I have stepped back a lot of times.
Okay, tell me
Allow
this.
her family
Tell
to
me
intercede,
this.
to call them
Tell me
one at a
this.
time.
Ladies,
And they would never even,
I
they
have
wouldn't
a
move in.
question. I have a question.
That's Divorce Court at 3, The People's Court at 3:30, followed by The Oprah Winfrey Show at 4, and they all can be found right here on WJTV weekdays.
The world isn't getting smaller. It's getting closer. Now more than ever, turn to the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. You always know when it's CBS News.
Let me make something clear. Joining the Mississippi Army National Guard is not an alternative to college. It's a way to get there. The Mississippi Guard is looking for bright young men and women who want to go to college but can't afford to. We want you to go to school full-time while you serve part-time, and we'll help you pay for it. Because after all, the Mississippi Guard is only as good as its people.
Good baseball game tonight.
All-Star game.
Yes, good baseball game.
And it goes on for a while.
Yeah, it kind of went on for a while. You know, in recent years, Major League Baseball's All-Star game has been something less than spectacular. Now, the 62nd edition was something less than spectacular, I think. But they had a little bit of action. Let's take a look at it, see what was happening. We pick it up in the first inning. This is Pirates. Bobby Bonilla. He smacks one right back at Jack Morris, hits him in the leg, rolls away, and Tony Gwynn scored on this one, and Jack Morris, he was okay. They took him to the hospital for x-rays just for precautionary reasons. Now, the American League comes back in the third, 2 on Cal Ripken. He was hitting home runs left and right in the exhibition yesterday, and he gets a hole of one, a 3-run shot. The American League led 3-1. Then Andre Dawson takes Roger Clemens up and out of the ballpark. No question about this. Ken Griffey Jr. just turns and watches it sail into the seats. Now, the American League pushed across one more run in the 8th on a sacrifice fly, and that was basically it. Another ho-hum Major League All-Star game. The American League has now won the last 4 meetings. The final, American League 4, National League 2.
Now,
Probably I surprised myself the last couple of days. I don't know. I haven't done much offensively in any of the games I've played in. Matter of fact, I almost doubled my hit output tonight. And to hit a home run, it was just a great feeling.
Now, at the game as well, Carlton Fisk, at the age of 44, became the oldest man to get a hit in the All-Star. And this is the kind of stuff they were resorting to try to keep it interesting. The regular season, thank heavens, begins or continues on Thursday. Now, in the Texas League action over in Shreveport, Captains beating the Generals 7-0. Generals are 4-18 against Shreveport this year. They will open a homestand against Wichita starting Thursday night. By the way, Joe Mikulik and Chris Gardner, along with Richie Simons, made the Texas League All-Star team. The International Olympic Committee announced today they will allow South Africa to field a team next year at the Olympic Games in Barcelona. The IOC says they are satisfied the South African government is making progress in dismantling the racist apartheid form of oppression. Now, of course, this is a decision that is very controversial, and a lot of countries and organizations are still opposed to lifting any sanctions. So expect a lot of protests and demonstrations between now and when the games get underway next summer. The Sun-Kissed Swim Club of Jackson is always provided aspiring young local swimmers with an opportunity to develop their skills. As always, in the summer, the pool is full. Reporter Doug Meyer tells you more.
Ready, go! With that command, the 10 and under swimmers of the Sun-Kissed swim team hit the pool. According to Sun-Kissed coach Dave Edmondson, getting the kids this age into the pool is no problem. Keeping them there is.
Well, we have to kind of walk the tightrope there of teaching them and keeping them motivated. If they're not swimming fast, they won't be motivated. But we also have to make it fun and in teaching the fundamentals and give them a good base and having the kids feel good about themselves and good about their swimming. And
at first glance, it appears Edmondson is succeeding. More than 50 swimmers compose the Sun-Kissed team's future talent pool, but most of them are girls. The reason? Boys have other interests like baseball and soccer. 10-year-old Trevor Goodlett is an exception.
I enjoy it. I think it's because it's fun. Meet a lot of new people by swimming. They're on competitive teams.
Of course, it helps to have a reputation for winning. The Sun-Kissed team has won the last 5 state championships, but the younger kids don't feel any pressure to carry on that tradition as they get older.
It doesn't really bother me at all. I just do my best.
There are a lot of 11 and 12 girls that are better than me, so I try to race myself against them. Sometimes I beat them, sometimes I don't.
It develops character along with making exceptional athletes here in Jackson. So we'd like to, initiate as many kids into it as we can and to give them a chance to know what swimming's about. And every kid gets something out of it.
Doug Meyer, WJTV, the News Center, Sports.
And one final note, football season cannot be too far away. Next Monday, the SWAC Tour comes to Jackson. And, of course, the SWAC Tour is always very interesting. Get all the coaches together, talking and having a good time. And
boasting.
And boasting, yes, and those things of that nature. But it's also good because it kind of, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're about to make it through summer.
You gonna make it?
Oh, yeah. I'll be there.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Well, the city of Vicksburg is once again hosting the Miss Mississippi pageant. The News Center's Vicksburg Bureau reporter Richard Dean has this story on 3 hopeful Miss Mississippi contestants from the Jackson area.
Last night, people got a chance to talk to Miss Mississippi contestants and get their autograph. Today was the first day of interviews for the contestants. Miss Mississippi College 20-year-old Shauna Louise Moody interviewed today and says she's excited about it. Shauna is a junior at Mississippi College, where she's studying voice performance. She hopes to have a career in gospel or semi-classical music.
When I was 3 years old, it was the first time I ever sang. They put me up on a box at church, and I sang Amazing Grace. And from then on, I just loved it. My whole family is very involved in music.
Miss Clinton, Sarah Freeman, is a senior at Ole Miss. This 21-year-old is majoring in elementary education because, as she says, she loves working with children. She'll be singing in the talent competition, but an ear problem has had her a little bit flustered.
It stops my ears, but that's okay because I'm going to get over it and I'm going to be fine. And Friday, I'm going to sing and I'm going to do my best.
Miss Metro Jackson, 25-year-old Renee Busby says learning the dance routines has been very demanding. Renee will sing for her talent competition, which she says should be her strongest point. Renee will be attending law school at Mississippi College.
Law is fascinating to me, and I've worked with the Mississippi legislature for the past 4 years, well, this entire term, and I've been fascinated with the way that law is created, and I would like to pursue a career in law.
The first preliminary competition will be tomorrow night. Richard Dean, WJTV, the News Center, Vicksburg Bureau.
And an exciting night it will be. That is our report for this evening. Thanks for joining us.
As we leave you tonight, greetings from some of our friends here in the Jackson area.
This has been WJTV, the News Center, the news leader in Central Mississippi. You're looking at a linear accelerator, part of the world-class technology in our cancer care program at Methodist Medical Center. This incredible unit pinpoints tumors, treats them, and helps save lives. But as advanced as our high technology is, it still can't hold your hand, treat your anxiety, or truly appreciate you. Only this unit can do that. Methodist Medical Center. We know what a miracle you are.
Meet the new faces of crime time after prime time. 5 different shows. 5 different nights. Meet Nick Slaughter, the only private eye in the tropics.
I think my glasses are steaming up.
And someone's turning up the heat, sweating bullets Monday.
People thought I was a traitor. Unless I can clear myself, I can never go home.
The Exile, late night Tuesday. Love can really be murder. At the scene of the crime, late night Wednesday. He's a down-and-out pilot with dreams of hitting the skies again. She's a beautiful businesswoman trying to get her new airline off the ground. Put them together. What have you got? Fly by night, Thursday.
Somewhere between crime and punishment is dark justice.
Scenes so hot, they could only be shown in late night. Crime time after prime time.
Weeknights starting at 11 following Mama's Family on WJTV.
WJTV, Jackson, Mississippi.
Hey, here you're building a new home.
Yep.
Is Jim Walter your builder?
Who else?
Seriously, who else but Jim Walter offers no down payment, no points, no closing costs, and such a wide variety of homes? Stop by a Jim Walter display center or call toll-free for details and the cost of building a beautiful home on your property.
Chances are, we're already doing business with your wife. We've recently taken care of your mother-in-law. And in fact, we're on a first-name basis with your second cousin twice removed. Chances are, for every 10 Mississippians you know, at least one of them knows us. The Andrew Jackson Group, for insurance, consumer finance, and retirement services. The Andrew Jackson Group. It pays to know our name.
reaching for the refreshing, one-of-a-kind taste that's out of this world. You can't beat the real thing.
Get your net set up, grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it out. The taste is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. It chews us all, it gets right to ya. Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move ya.
Do you know how much sweat is going into building our new room?
Oh, believe me, I know.
Introducing new Ultra Gain.
I do a lot of lifting.
All I have to lift is this scoop. Mmm.
Ultra Gain's concentrated power gets clothes so clean, they'll smell like they were dried in the sunshine.
Mmm. He's building this room all by himself.
Maybe now she'll let me live in it.
New Ultra Gain, the only clean you can tell by the sunshine smell.
Choices, choices, choices. Super D photos, should have seen choices. They got big prints, double prints, 2 for $35. Quick as a flash, one day or free. Choices, Super D. Choices, choices, choices.
Super D, quick, convenient, easy choices. Got a lot of locations to pick up milk, bread, beer, ice cream, and more.
Convenient Super D. Choices, choices, choices. Choices, choices, choices. 24 hours. Choices, choices, choices. We take better care of you.
Who's got big news on a regular burger bargain? Dairy Queen. A bigger burger bargain at just 69 cents. Some people squeeze 10 burgers from a pound. Dairy Queen makes 6 bigger burgers with 66% more meat than those other regular burgers. And now, they're just 69 cents. It's the big news on a burger bargain. We treat you right. Dairy Queen.
If you or someone you love has suffered an injury or death from an automobile accident, an on-the-job injury, an offshore oil rig, or a plane crash, any injury is the result of someone else's negligence. See Don Evans, attorney at law. Don Evans has many years' experience in handling damage suits, and he only charges a fee if he wins your case. It costs nothing to discuss your case with him. Call Don Evans. You can trust him to get the money you deserve.
Bounty Big Roll asks, are you impatient with husbands who don't change the roll of paper towels? If you can't change your husband, maybe you should change to new Bounty Big Roll with 50% more sheets. So when regular Bounty's gone, Bounty Big Roll keeps on going and going and going. Husbands may not change, but you can change to new Bounty Big Roll, the quicker, bigger upper.
Presenting some of the 2,000 body parts you can clean with Lever 2000, the deodorant soap that's better for your skin. Tender parts like your earlobe and pinky, and parts like your feet that tend to get stinky. Parts that sweat, parts that get dry, and parts that you got, and you don't know why. Because Lever 2000 has special skincare ingredients, so you can use it on pretty parts, gritty parts, even little bitty parts. Lever 2000, the deodorant soap that's better for your skin and all your 2,000 parts.
Now on penalties on this drive. 1st and 10 from the 40, 3:20 remaining. Sims lofting it deep for Miller and broken up at the last instant. Darrell Green, one of the NFL's fastest men, and some would say #1, got back there and with his great speed was able to catch up and flick it away.
And he was beaten. Bill Sims had the ball there. Maybe he could have put a little more on it to get it to Miller, but it was a great effort by Darrell Green. World-class sprinter at Texas A&I a few years ago, and you saw it right there. Superb effort. He's not big, Darrell Green, but he plays very big.
2nd and 10. Sims, and it's dropped at the 47 by Morris. He had possession in his hands, and Taylor mirroring the Giants' frustration. He's had a big night, but if you were with us earlier, A couple of blown coverages in the secondary by New York, and Taylor exhibiting his ire. 3rd and 10.
Getting a little shower here at Giant Stadium.
A little bit. A couple of umbrellas beginning to pop up. 3rd and 10. Sims over the middle, and open there is Johnson for a first down at the 46-yard line. With 2:58 remaining.
Johnson got himself into a one-on-one with Barry Wilburn. Sims, with good pass protection, fired it in there.
Again, the Giants with all of their timeouts remaining. And Washington as well, as the clock runs down. 2:35 to go in the 4th.
And the field goal problems that have plagued the Giants over the past 2 seasons, I'm sure right now, are entering the mind of Bill Parcells.
Sims looking for Miller, and he makes the catch, and a flag goes down at the 22-yard line. Covered on the play by Green. Good catch. And let's see what Jerry Seaman's going to say.
Looked as though he only had 1 foot in. And it's going to go against Solomon Miller, working against Darrell Green. Look at it one more time. Darrell Green, individual coverage, pushing off the left hand, pushing off Darrell Green, and the official was right on top of it. He goes right to the hanky. Here's the call.
Pass interference, number 87 offense, still first down.
And even had it not been interference, it would not have been a legal catch. 1 foot in, the next one goes out.
Big Dave Butts, 6'7", gets a hand up. Sims has to put it up high. There's the 1 foot. And another quick look at that left hand pushing off Darrell Green.
So it's a 10-yard penalty. It puts the Giants back at their own 44. 1st and 20. Miller in motion. Morris gets the give. Morris into Washington territory to the 40, the 30, to the 22.
He's been the offense all night. Beautiful run, 34 yards by Morris, and now he's hurt. And they're trying to get some of the medical staff out onto the field to look at Joe Morris. He hurt his knee earlier in the game. Had to go out for a while.
And this will take us very close to the 2-minute warning. The clock is momentarily stopped at 2:03.
Breaking it back against the grain, spots a little bit of an opening, just breaks away from Vernon Dean, turns on the speed. He has great short speed, not a long sprinter type speed, but he can accelerate. And you saw it right there as he gets down to the 22-yard line, and another Giants first down.
And as Seaman restarts the clock here, that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A big night for Morris, a big night on the other side, of course, for Clark. It's 20-20 with 2 minutes to play in the 4th.
And don't miss it.
Ah, draft beer. It's always been the smoothest, freshest beer around. Poured straight from the tap. And now there's a true draft beer in a bottle. Miller Genuine Draft. It's not heat pasteurized like most bottled beers. It's cold filtered for real draft smoothness. Miller Genuine Draft. Ah, it's beer at its best.
Euromania has swept our country. Fashion, furniture, cars, everything. But last year, when the editors of a leading consumer publication chose their 10 best cars, a good old reliable Buick Electra T-Type made the list. Imagine, out of nearly 300 cars from all over the world, the car the editors put among the very best was Buick Electra T-Type. American know-how. It's alive and well at Buick, where better really matters.
A performance story from Phillips 66. Subject: the environment. The fragile, the beautiful, the irreplaceable. How do we help ensure they'll remain part of our environment? Example: this water treatment system, made with a Phillips plastic that helps keep our rivers clean, clear, and alive. Phillips 66. You'll find performance in everything we do.
Al Michaels and Frank Gifford at Giant Stadium. 75,000 the attendance tonight, and just about everybody still here in a light misting rain as Phil Simms comes out at the 2-minute warning. The Giants with all of their timeouts remaining. Game tie 20-20. And through the lights, the misting rain, Allegre warming up for what he hopes will be an extra point.
And I guess with 2 minutes remaining, you must also point out the Redskins have all of their timeouts remaining.
1st and 10, New York at the 22. And they give it to Morris. And Morris slips a tackle and then gets to the 18-yard line as he ran in and out of the hands of Dexter Manley. And then Manley makes the tackle.
That might have been the best effort of the night for Joe Morris. That would have been a 2- or 3-yard loss behind the line of scrimmage. He slipped the tackle, got away from Manley, slipped another one, and picked up 4 yards, but it could have been a 2-yard loss. And it shortened things up for this man, Raul Allegre. You know, he was tried out with the Redskins not too long ago after being released by Indianapolis. They did not take him. They, of course, a couple of weeks ago, released the longtime Redskin Mark Mosley, and they brought in Zendejas, who had started the season with the Dallas Cowboys. Trick kickers travel a great deal. Schrader, who had a personal high of 3 touchdowns last week, seems to get better almost every week. Big night. His career best, 375 yards.
Meanwhile, that last timeout was just taken by Washington because Washington does not want to allow the Giants to run the clock all the way down. So they were, in a way, compelled to take that timeout because the Giants are certainly within field goal range. And unless Washington stops the clock and conserves some time, they're in trouble. So Washington took that timeout.
They'll have an opportunity to take another one.
2nd and 5. Morris takes it inside the 15 to the 13. And now another Washington timeout. And what this means is it becomes almost imperative for Washington to stop the Giants on this play, because if the Giants were to pick up a 1st down now on 3rd and 1, they could run that clock all the way down, almost to the nub, and then bring in Allegre for the chip shot.
Great effort by this man, Dexter Manley, all night. He has been playing like Lawrence Taylor's been playing for the Giants. He has been in the face of Phil Simms all night long, as he always is. He's a great defensive end. This entire football team, they were down 17 points. They just wouldn't believe they were down 17 points. They kept at it. They got 2 big plays, and all of a sudden they were just in a matter of 2 minutes and 35 seconds, they were back in it. The Giants now threatening with 1:44, and as Al pointed out, the Redskins having to use another timeout to conserve time after a field goal might be made by this man, and conserving time to get them back in it and give them an opportunity to add their own points.
This could very well be the ball game on 3rd and 1 right here. Again, if the Giants were to pick up 3 and get the first, down goes the clock, and in comes Allegre, unless they score before that. And so the Redskins, in effect, have to stop the Giants here on 3rd and 1. And Washington has also used 2 timeouts, so they'll be able to stop the clock only once more if New York gets the first. And here they come now on 3rd and 1 with Carthen and Morris. And Carthen leading the way for Morris. And Morris has the first down, and Morris has the touchdown.
And we're looking at a 3-way tie in the NFC East. The little man has been doing it all night long, either on the receiving end or the rushing end. Breaks off a 3rd and 1. You often see it happen because everyone is up there playing it so tight. All you do is pop the hole, get to the outside.